I think it's as good as any. I think the result, I'm just really pleased for our players who have worked really hard over the last couple of years to try and play a certain style that we've been working on, that we think is going to be capable of sustaining finals type intensity and finals type pressure. But it's difficult when you're working really hard on something and you're sitting in here after a loss talking about just continuing to work on a style of play, and it sounds cliched and it sounds trite when you've lost, but it is pleasing to sit in here and after a good win like that and sit here pretty confidently that our players' self-belief is growing, and they've got real confidence in what we're doing.
Did you see it coming, Brad?
No, you never see it coming against Geelong. I mean, you go out with a plan. You try and execute that as well as you possibly can, and to be honest, you hope they're not quite at their best. And we were all at the game on Monday, and what a super game of AFL footy to see Geelong get off the canvas yet again and get over Hawthorn. They're a super team. So we were never at any stage comfortable in that game. And we're conscious that we got them at a pretty good time. I mean, they're amazing players, the Geelong boys, and they just keep coming back at you. And but in terms of the timing, we got them at a really good time. And they also lost Mackie early in the game, so that affected them a little bit. But I thought we got what we deserved tonight with the way we played. So I want to take nothing away from our boys, but we're realistic in where we sit in the scheme of things.
The fact they had such a hard game on Monday and you had such an easy game against GWS, was that a factor, do you feel, in this? Yes.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, physically it has to be. I mean, we had a longer break, we're well prepared. I think the guys felt good, but you still have to go out and compete. And I didn't think that Joel Selwood or Jimmy Bartell, they looked any worse. I mean, they're still fantastic players and they still play well. But I thought our guys, we wanted to play a certain way, and our guys went out and attacked it the way we wanted them to, and they got the result. So we can't control. We've been on the end of some fixturing that's hurt us too. But you just play the opposition that's put in front of you. But the only point I want to make is that while it was a fantastic win for us, there were circumstances that went against Geelong tonight, but we had to capitalise on it, and we did.
Dominated, Brad, the uncontested possessions and the handball receives. You did really well last year with contested stuff. Is that really pleasing to see that start to really with opponents over in those areas?
Yeah, it's pleasing to be on the side that seems to be covering the ground better than the opposition. We've probably had a few games like that over the last couple of years where we haven't been that way. So, but it takes time. I mean, we've injected a lot of youth into our midfield, and they're terrific workers. They're super keen to learn, and they're starting to see the fruits of their labour. So, from that side of things, it's really pleasing.
For your team, you've sort of been a nearly team the last few years. What psychologically does this mean at this stage of the season to get a win like this? Is it the sort of platform boost for everything else?
I think it's very simple. All it does is show the players what we're capable of when we execute the way we want to. I mean, nothing more than that. So it gives them belief in what we're trying to do. But what we have to do is show that on a consistent basis, and we haven't been able to do that yet. Hopefully over the next month, 2 months, 3 months, we'll show that we can do it on a consistent basis. So, our focus has never been on just worrying about top 4 sides. Our focus is on playing the style of footy that's going to be competitive against them. And as I've always said, and I almost get ridiculed about it now, but we'll beat the top 4 sides when we are a top 4 side. Now we're not there yet. We've got to show that on a consistent basis. So, but we're certainly working towards it.
Lindsay Thomas's effort when he went back with a flow of the ball, and Andrew Mackie had the collision. I mean, he stood forward to Brent Harvey and obviously resulted in the Lee Adams goal.
Yeah.
It seemed to be a fairly symbolic thing of the Roos efforts tonight.
Absolutely team lifting stuff, and couldn't be happier for Lindsay. He cops a lot of criticism, some of it warranted, some unwarranted, but the players love him. He really does invest in what we're trying to do, and it's great to see him get some reward tonight. And he's still obviously got a lot of things to work on, but I thought his effort to go back at the flight, I thought Hamish McIntosh's effort to come up and tackle Corey Enright just before half time, that really set the tone for us, and it really did lift the team. So it's really pleasing that we got a really good even spread of contributions from our younger players. While Wells and Harvey are just super players and they played exceptionally well tonight. Andrew Swallow had another great game. It's really pleasing that we don't have the heavy reliance on them that we once did. You look at the other players who had huge contributions tonight. Jack, first game back, was outstanding. Sam Wright's job on Steve Johnson's almost hard to comprehend that he would have done it that well. We set him a big task, and he did a great job on him. So you work your way through the list. We're building Adams, Bastanak, Cunnington underneath, so that if Wells, Swallow, Harvey, Petrie aren't dominating the game, we're still a competitive side. So that part of it was really pleasing.
Jack, for yourself to get on the scoreboard, kick 4 goals, and I mean obviously Ryan Bastanak 4 goals as well. Must be nice for the midfielders to be able to hit the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good, I suppose. Yeah. No, look, it was good tonight with the way that the boys played, especially the midfield group. All the young guys coming through there, like as Brad said, Ben Cunnington and Ryan Bastanak having a good game. It sort of just gives them a lot of self-confidence as well, so that they can mix it against the top line teams. Whereas before there might have been a bit of self-doubt here or there, but now tonight I think, as Brad said, that it's really given us a bit of self-belief. But the main thing is that we've got to keep doing it on a consistent basis as well, making sure that it's just not a one-off thing. And next week against Sydney at the SCG, it doesn't get much harder than that as a midfield group to come up against their midfield group. So it's another really good challenge for us, and hopefully we can prepare well and come out and do the right things.
How much did you enjoy that last goal?
Yeah, it was good. As I said before to Brad, I didn't have much left in the league, so I kicked and hoped and went through, so it was good.
Grime is still out, I don't know how close he is, but you talked pre-season about how you had half a dozen potential key position defenders. Luke Delaney put his hand up tonight.
Yeah, I thought he was terrific. I mean, Hawkins and Podsiadly, I think they probably kept the average up. I think they've kicked about 60% of their goals so far this year. So, Geelong are a pretty high-scoring side when they're playing their best, and Podsiadly and Hawkins still played well and still kicked goals. But I thought Thompson, Ferrito, Delaney were fantastic for us. So very difficult to stop those players all the time. So it's pleasing. I mean, it's a really good position for me to be in as coach, but a really tough position for Cam Pedersen, Lockie Hansen, Nathan Grimer, Robbie Tarrant. They're all key position players who are capable of being in our best 22. But, we're in the fortunate position where we'll play players on form, and we'll take the team in that we think gives us the best chance of winning each week. So the challenge for those guys is to keep investing in the team like we ask everyone to do, and to do what's best for the football club.
How far away are Grimer and Tarrant?
Well, they played on the weekend, so they'll be available for selection. But I don't think Michael Frito or Scotty Thompson are losing their spots any time soon. So it's a good position to be in. They're on form, if they're playing well and they're playing better than the player ahead of them, then we'll pick them. But we're very fortunate that I've always said we're very well off for key position players. So we've got a number of guys that can go through there, and we've got 45 players to pick from at the moment with only one player unavailable. So we're in a good, healthy situation. If he did, he was still running pretty well at the end of the game. So, no, nothing's been reported to me. Which, if there was any concern about it, I would have been told.